What is going on, everybody? My name's Chris. Welcome to Bourbinsane. We are here today with a very, very special bourbon. So excited to get into this one. Sent to me from one of my awesome patrons, Christopher David. Thank you so much for hooking me up with this sample. We're doing George T. Stagg, ladies and gentlemen. George T. Stagg 2018. Yes. 62.4% alcohol. Sounds like a lot, right? This is actually one of the lowest proofed George T. Staggs in recent history. There was a 128, I think it was, back in 2013. But recent history, it's usually 130, pushing 140 even. I mean, there is a George T. Stagg hazmat, so one of the lower expressions, but you know what? Lower proof can sometimes bring out a more complex flavor. I'm really excited to get into this one. This is 15 years, 4 months old. So, 15 years? I mean, that can be good or bad for a whiskey. Let's find out. I had the 2017 George T. Stagg, and it was incredible. I'm expecting nothing short of amazing coming into 2018. So, let's find out. Smells so good. All baking spices and oak on this. Looking at the color too, it's just almost black in the glass, honestly. In my light, it looks black. It's sticking to the glass so much. Super, super dark fruit on this too, like raisin, plum. It does not smell like 125 proof either. The nose is much, much more smooth than that. I mean, the vanilla, brown sugar is there. Almost a burnt caramel on this. Toasted oak. The cherry is there. Almost that cherry, the Buffalo Trace cherry that I describe all the time. Just listening to how many things I'm pulling out on this nose, you can tell this is a very complex whiskey. Normally, when I know something, I get 4 or 5 at the most notes. I probably just rattled off like 8 or 9 things. I mean, there's even lighter fruits in this too. Reminiscent of some of the E.H. Taylor expressions I've had. It's a little more bright. I always get more of a bright profile with the E.H. Taylor expressions. Like pear, apple. That's in this too. It's pretty amazing. The oak is not overwhelming like I could expect for almost a 16-year-old bourbon. Whew. Let's give it a sip. Cheers, guys. Finish. Still going. Still going. Everything I just described on the nose, you can pick it out on your palate. Sweetness up front. Middle of the palate kind of turns into more of a drying note, and especially the back end, I'm getting more of that dry wood. Honestly, it's more like a rye spice on the center palate. That's kind of what it seems like. Kind of a more cinnamon, baking spices, clove. Let's give it another sip. Cheers. Yeah, the front of the palate, super, super sweet. I mean, creme brulee, vanilla ice cream. Almost like an almond. A little bit of an almond note comes through. I almost have never described that on Buffalo Trace before myself. But it's almost like a caramelized burnt sugar almond. That's what it tastes like. The cherry note, the deep, rich cherry, raisin, plum, all through on the palate as well. The oak is on the back end, but it does not taste like a 15-year bourbon. And proof-wise, if I was to guess, I would have thought this was around maybe 115. It's drinking way smoother than 125. Yeah, really, really good. Really good. Now this, of course, is a part of the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, which is one of the most sought after sets of bourbon you can get. Includes the Eagle Rare 17, Thomas H. Handy, Sazerac Rye, George T. Stagg. There's a whole line of these Buffalo Trace Antique collections, and George T. Stagg is always one of the best expressions every year, typically. I did get a sample of the 2017. Of course, it's been a very long time since I've tried it. But going into the 2018, I am very, very impressed with this. I haven't had enough George T. Stagg in my life to compare how it compares to all previous years. But I can tell you, this is a really, really good bourbon. A very complex bourbon that, I mean, it leaves you sitting here wanting to pick it apart more and more. And I'm willing to bet every time I go back in for another sip, I'm going to get different notes out of it. That sip to me was more rye forward. I don't know if it's like an unbalanced thing where I'm getting like rye on one, super sweet on another. I don't think so. I think it's more of like a trip, like a roller coaster. You know, the front of your palate, like I said, gives you that really nice, sweet, rich sweetness, caramel, vanilla. Middle palate, that nice rye spice. The baking spices come out very nice. And then the back of the palate's where I get that oak. The more drying oak, not like a peppery, like a rye drying out feeling to me, but it's just it's kind of just an oak drying. Not too much. It still leaves my mouth watering, wanting more of it. So it's so good. I wish I could tell you this wasn't good because it's almost impossible to find. I wish I could say, don't worry about getting this. It's no good, but it is. It's damn good. It's damn good whiskey. Retail price on this is only $99. Of course, secondary market prices are ridiculous, $400 or $500 depending on where you're looking. But it's just a very complex, very well-rounded, delicious bourbon. I wish I could keep a bottle of this. I wish I had a bottle of this, could find a bottle of this, because it'd be gone too quick is the problem. An excellent product, just excellent. I do have a couple Stagg Juniors, and Stagg Junior is good. To me, Stagg Junior is a little more rough around the edges compared to the George T. Stagg. It's just a more well-rounded Stagg Junior. You know what? Screw it. I was going to do this as a separate episode, but let's grab our Stagg Junior. My favorite Stagg Junior. I think I have it right here, actually. Yeah. Batch 9. Stagg Junior Batch 9. This is 131.9. Let me get a glass. All right, Stagg Junior Batch 9, 131.9. Now, Stagg Junior is usually about 8 years aged. So you got to think the Stagg is double that. I mean, double the age. From a lot of people in the whiskey community, Batch 9 is one of the best batches of Stagg that's been released. So take with that what you may. If anything's going to get close to a Stagg, I think Batch 9 would be the one to go to. So let's go nose to nose here. Yeah, honestly, with the Stagg line, the age makes all the difference. This is just sharp. It smells like it's much sharper, and it's probably not. Like, it's not. I mean, it's not a proof sharpness, because this is not kicked up in proof like 8 points, but it's not a proof sharpness. It's just kind of that rubbing alcohol type nose. It's still very nice. Very rich caramels, vanillas, creme brulee, burnt sugar. But the actual George T. Stagg just takes it to another level. It really does. It just elevates the whiskey. Let's go palate to palate here. Stagg Jr. first. All right, Stagg next. Yeah, it just tastes rounded off. That's the difference. It tastes like a much more rounded off bourbon. Stagg Jr. sometimes a little rough around the edges, but the actual George T. Stagg is just everything you want in a bourbon and more. It really is. They smell like the same family. It's just a whole nother layer of complexity, and you cannot replicate it. If you can get a Stagg Jr., get it. Absolutely. Especially around the retail price, about $65. But George T. Stagg, 99, incredible whiskey. incredible whiskey, and I'm so blessed to have the opportunity to try this. Thank you so much. Overall, you heard my impression of it already. It's an excellent bottle. Already a front runner for my personal top whiskeys of 2019. Obviously, this is the 18 Expression, but the things I've tried in 2019, probably the front runner, honestly. That and Booker's 30th. I do hear of bottles popping up here and there, so keep an eye out. You never know, it does happen. Come September, October, November time, this upcoming year, we're going to be starting to see the 2019 releases coming. So if you can even try this at a bar, a decent price of $25-30 at a bar, it's worth getting a pour. Like, it's that good. So I would definitely recommend you try it. Go out and find a pour. Go out and find a friend with a bottle if you have to. Give it a try, because it's just an incredible whiskey. Thank you so much for watching this review today. If you like these videos, please do consider liking and subscribing to the channel. I also do have a Patreon page if you'd like to consider supporting the channel. Patreon.com/Bourbinsane. Still have a couple challenge coins left, so if you are interested, please do go ahead and hit me up on Instagram or email me as well. I appreciate you guys being here for today. Stay insane, everyone. Damn!